kind of quality that team pre-Oscar was showing on that map at their best. They're looking pretty good tonight, Lauren, so I would say we'll see a good showing from the ex-German, now European squad.
Yeah, now, let's be very honest. I know a lot of people say when you have a stand-in on the T side, you won't have...
Phil doesn't go that well for them here. That's the takeaway. They still need to make things happen regardless. It's not really an excuse. Losing this was 7-5 losses, but now to the pistol round. Nico just shows the heck up. Straight through mid, gets himself 3. Only the man himself.
I guess a small bit of silver lining is this round looks fairly safe, unless I, something a bit dirty with the deagle, but it's not going to happen. But yeah, that isn't good here. Oscar looks like he's lagged out, unless he just realised to moonwalk on the spot. So I can imagine there is a pause coming through.
So Envyus now would like to play with a bit of this utility, give themselves more safe passage on towards these sites, and actually have an afterplant situation to speak of.
Yeah, and in this kind of, when they know this CT side has that double op, I prefer them going for site hits, good smoke site hits. It makes it very hard for those double ops to play retake. You can kind of limit what they can achieve early game. I don't like the kind of 2-on-2 we're seeing here. It's easier for them to get picks, possibly. Kenny S, all about timing now, actually looked away, comes back, adjusts better than Chris J could, and wins out in mid, at least for now, giving Envy a really nice advantage, but they still need to break into one of these sites, and that's not gone well for Happy. Timing not into his favor. Nico is watching it, expecting that kind of reflex move coming out to try and avenge what happened earlier, and now the advantage sits with Mousesports.
And Kenny S with the bomb and an AWP inside mid window now. Spitty's already sort of caught up to this one here, but Kenny S still gets away with the kill, and then BK making things happen over an A. All of a sudden, Dennis is in big trouble. He's in lower dark, and with Kenny S in this position, he can pick him out. Spitty, though, takes down Kenny S. Nicely done from short now. The 2v2 comes out, and BK makes a bit of a mistake, but manages to make up for it with 4 points of health left. The bomb is left in an incredibly compromising location. NBK needs to wait for NKJ to get on site and to use these flashes at least to secure maybe just a smoke in front of the bomb and then whisk it over to B.
NBK and NKJ, what a mouthful. But Dennis is going to try and find one of these two. He knows that he's going to be trying to be pincered in on, and this is a good shout from him. I like this. Take the fight towards one. Luckily for him, he found NBK, who was already very low. Now you unravel. Where was that set play going to come from? Where's the piece of the puzzle? So perfect positioning. It's going to be very tricky for NKJ to be able to pull this off. He's got to check every angle. He doesn't know if he's backed into mid, and there it is. Dennis, cool, calm under pressure, and I really like how he played that out. And
Dennis could have been really easily cut off from that situation if he hadn't made a move. Sometimes there's a tendency for some players to just bide their time, but he, didn't really know exactly where Envyus were going to be coming from. Probably assumed NBK would be coming from Connector, but if Dennis had hung around for much longer, he could have been isolated. He could have been sort of kept away, and Mousesports,
Can we press tab for a second, just very quickly? Oh, it's not 0-7 yet. Happy is having a really bad game.
Lauren.
No, I find it really happy. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it.
Tell me why, though.
It makes me grin.
Oh, I can't follow up for now. I can't go in there with you, Lauren. I'm sorry. A little bit.
But maybe he can do something with the deagle. I think this is one of those rounds where you kind of discuss things that are going wrong, where you're lacking a little bit.
Happy rolling back the years. As Henry would put it. Oh, hello. NBK still finds Chris J, but quick trade in. Spitty able to position himself quite comfortably to receive this one. Elsewhere on the map, though, Apex has found Oscar. Thankfully for Mousesports, Spitty is still putting the work in, and the bomb goes loose over on towards short care of Nico. Kenny S gives himself an M4. No more plugging away with just a pistol. The Spitty navigates the situation quite comfortably, receives a lot of attention, and comes out with 4 kills. Yeah, nicely done. Kept the site in check, and we have what we needed, what I needed, what makes me happy as a human being. 0-7. But we also see Kenny S on the op, which is also a really enjoyable factor. And what a rarity we see Spitty being the top fragger as well. Brilliant work on B then. A little bit buffered out by those eco frags, or deagle upgrade frags, but he's not a player who often get the limelight in this sort of roster. And there's the smoke towards mid window, just going to come through there, just allow the play if it needs to happen. The bomb being in the hands of Kenny S, he's going to be a little bit cautious on this. And it is, again, this kind of 2-1-2, hoping for aggression, hoping this one pushes NBK. I'm a little worried. The timing's off for him. Sadly for NBK, he gets caught out in the worst way. He actually flashed for that. Kenny S, what a shot, comes bounding in, and Happy explodes. 2 kills for him. Suddenly gets himself on the scoreboard in quite some fashion. Mouse now left with 2. Yeah, and that's an important kill, though. Spitty finds Happy. Nico goes down, though, but still Mousesports could have made something happen with 2 players back towards CT. Now, Spitty needs to be careful. NKJ will be hot on his heels in a few moments, and speaking of hot, the Molotov is going to cut off the route of approach for Spitty. Connector, his only option at this stage, a flash and a kit to his name, but little else. And again, he'll just have to stand and deliver and meet his maker there. It's going to be Apex to shut him down. Beautiful moment by Kenny. And also now Nico wants to show a little bit here, keep a little bit in check. This is kind of this stage. Happy's still a while behind him. Flash comes out. Still no plant yet, though, for Kenny. He'll just set up in a safe position if he can. Oscar's still determined to be looking up in towards his apartments. It might just pay off as Happy that lingers for a little bit too long within his line of sight. Now Kenny in a 1v3.
Let's see it, Kenny. What do you have here? Show us some of that magic that we know you can bring. A near-on impossible situation with no utility, no way to define these 1v1s, but he's going to find the first. Dennis goes down, bomb is planted, readjusts. Couldn't find the one in kitchen there, so that's Oscar to close it down, get fourth for himself. And the defuse will come out.
And that's Envy reset there as well. Whatever sort of round loss bonus they were accruing over that time is absolutely just, well, been thrown up against the wall here. They have some residual money to come back in with, so it's not really too bad. They didn't have to buy too deeply into this round. You'll note here that they have, 6K on NKJ and Kenny S, but again, that has to be spread amongst their team, and after that, absolutely spent. Mousesports. Not exactly a burgeoning economy of their own here, but enough to be working with for now. The double AWP stays in play crucially here for Oscar and Nico, who have definitely shown us some impressive control of the map.
And there's so many pieces now in Mousesports' pocket that just kind of, strike fear into people. That double AWP combo, massive. Kenny, though, feeling confident here. He's playing a confident game, and I like that from him. I want to see more of this. But the double stack on B can make it costly. He is only a glass cannon, so these nades, that molly, gotta be careful, gotta be cautious. We'll have to back away from this. I was wondering if he was going to go for the bit of a wall bang there, but not going to be the case. Spitting out, just cushions himself right underneath the balcony, but only gets the 1-1. Trade out, MBK will find him. Kenny S comes up with what he needs, and now it's Nico. Nico, what can you do here? Absolutely sweet soddle. 2v3 now. We do see at least Mousesports keeping some numbers alive here. Play coming up from short from Dennis. Oscar going to hold this until he gets the opportunity to work with Dennis to try and retake this site. There's
a ton of utility available here for Mousesports. They have 4 flashes between them, but Dennis takes that one cleanly. Now's the time to start thinking about that one. Give yourself the higher percentage situations. Kenny S is completely blind and takes a big hit. This is how Mousesports are going to retake this side, a 2v3, and they are making it happen. Now Happy standing upon the bomb site. There is a kit available for Dennis, so Mousesports have that option. Time is still bleeding down. Happy needs to be challenged, but it's quite simple. Mousesports just challenges 2-1-1, get a quick little defuse and run away with the round.
And Happy will not be smiling after that retake. Incredibly frustrating scenes there for him. They do even recover an AWP now for Mouse. And they could get the double. Dennis? Nice. Dennis, that was almost terrible. I liked it, though. Good recovery. 9-1, though. And recovery is the name of the game here for Envy, and it looks almost impossible, if I'm honest.
And we're seeing this actually a little bit more common recently from Spitty. No one questions whether he should be in this team or not, but again, now seeing a very strong performance from him. Obviously, look, in a game where you're winning quite dominantly, this can happen, but we've seen some really nice moments from him on short as well, shutting down presence for Envyus, even across the map on towards A. So a player to keep your eyes on here, as he's been quite instrumental coming out of B. Oscar, though, opens up. Apex just drops lifeless to the ground like a sack of potatoes. And Oscar, a mild tag on him as well. It's going to be enough to keep him away from mid-window and allow Envyus to sort of boost him. But Oscar, very aggressive now, forced to go for the pistol. Not really where he wanted to be caught in any case. Kenny now pushing forward. Has himself the AWP. But Nico using his own to great effect. It's going to be NBK dropping in mid now. Envyus are going to be sort of surrounded in a few moments if they don't make a move forward. They don't have any utility line to work with here. They just have to try and take fights. And what Mousesports are ready to receive.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mitch. The one factor that can change it would be Kenny S, but in such a spot like this, not exactly allowing much of an AWP play, and already gives away the game. And Chris J will snatch it from him. 10-1. AWP is recovered. Double AWP back into play. Let's see their money. It was on that teetering edge there for Mousesports. It could have tipped the other way, where they could be on a little bit of a lower purchase, but they can really spread the funds around, spread the jam. And now Envy, they've got a good buy, but they need the last couple of rounds. I'm sorry, you really do need it. And they've just looked so jilted.
At this point as well, you're forced to force in some cases. You're just sort of too far behind. You don't have those rounds. You can just go, okay, boys, let's just buy, P250s and see what happens. You have to go for it now. You're way too far behind. And at this point, that first pistol in the next half is just going to pretty much mean the whole game. And that's not what you want to do. But so far, Envy is making this work. Oscar, they're going to shut down NKJ as he forces on towards the site. And a missed shot there as well is going to mean he has to give up his position for the moment. Spitty now is with him. May want to split up, though, in this case, as Oscar wants to try and test this A site from Connector. He does see a lot of those grenades flying past him, although none of them are intended for him at this stage. So the way is open for Oscar to create some opportunities, but the bomb is down. There comes that extra smoke, going to obscure a lot of the bomb site. A lot of utility being expended here just to make it harder for Mousesports to get a foothold. Yeah,
and Happy's positioning basically means that they know there is absolutely no one coming around from the back. Kenny, you can't do that, Kenny. You got to land those, and he kind of overstayed his welcome, got taken down very low. Oscar does have an AWP, so this becomes not exactly ideal for him. Look how tagged up they are, 17, 6, 11. One shots are plenty between them all, and a bit of an overkill there for Oscar. A headshot with an AWP, a bit too much, and Happy will chase and deny the AWP. As said, previously highlighted, Mousesports' money wasn't particularly brilliant in that prior round. It could break, and it has. Down quite low here for them, but recovery needs step-by-step sort of plays from Envy, and they need to keep this up. Sort of
Forced by round away from Envyus, so they can do it here, especially when they've got 2 AWPs in play still. So there's no reason not to really play around those here. Nico starts off well, that's what they want. MBK goes down.
Look at that bomb. I don't care about A right now, it's all good and fun, but Happy selling them the absolute fake.
Nice.
Kenny S, NKJ running it, and now Mousesports go, you know, it's that mode. Now let's play retake with 2 AWPs, 1 scout, a rifle and a deagle. Not ideal at all, and Happy already in position should be able to allow the rest of Envy to find, you know, complementary positions to his. The smoke into kitchen denies them the instant push through. Kenny, don't mess this up, Kenny. You've got to do the work here. He needs help, and Happy just walks into the eyes of Dennis, maybe over zealous to help out his teammates, and now puts them in a worse position. 2v4, Kenny comes into it. NKJ's doing what he can, but Kenny can't follow up, and now NKJ in the 1v3.
Yeah, but time ticking down. There's no kit available for Mousesports, but they managed to get on towards NKJ. But do they have the time? It doesn't look that way. They're all trying to back away from the site. So Envyus, not only do they get the bomb plant, they win this round. And one could make the case, Lauren. One could make the case that for Envyus, maybe the money from bomb plant isn't actually enough in that round, so selling that kind of fake, not sufficient. But the fact that they managed to hold off Mousesports for as long as they did is so important as well. And you're right, they sold on the Kipper, and they managed to bleed a lot of time there with Mousesports having to traverse over towards the B site to challenge. So now, the actual sort of, it's a weird buy, let's be honest with you. They managed to back away. I think a couple Mousesports players died there, so only Nico gets away with the AWP. Could be worse, but still, Mousesports could have had that last round comfortably if they were just a little bit quicker to the punch.
Here we go, Nico. Game-changing play required. Delivers on the first front. Backs out towards connector. Doesn't want to lose out on players here, but there you go. Happy's found him. Kenny S catches Chris J. And now all that threat, there was possibly a board for Mousesports, so there's a couple of weapons spread throughout. Kind of gone. You're down to P250 and a USPS. So all the punch that was building up has kind of been removed, and this should be a closeout for Envy, and they shouldn't lose out on too many more players, especially when MBK is keeping really well, a good mindset towards where these guys could be.
Spiddy's having none of it. Having absolutely none of it. They're Happy eventually picks him up there, and it's going to be 10-4. Now, Mousesports buy back in here. Obviously, 11 rounds on that CT side, they'd be very, very pleased with at this stage. No AWP comes in. Maybe ruining the force up a couple rounds back, but still working around 2 AWPs was a promising prospect at the very least. Last round of the half, though, here, so... Mousesports. It says round 13 up the top because we had a server reset, guys, so fear not. Again, smokes, still 4 smokes here, so... Yeah, well, there you go. Enough smoke here for Mousesports to buy some time, although Envyus might be looking to go for a full execute here. Oh, but that could get messed up there. Nico finds the pick. I think that's in towards Palace, if I'm not mistaken. Nicely done. And Dennis with forward position doesn't pay off, though. Kenny S ready for that one. Yeah, Kenny S, though, willing for that. Oh, my! Mum, get the camera. That was nuts. Nico's just gone and got absolutely destroyed by that. Spiddy and Chris J are going to be left reeling. Like, what can you do playing back into that? You're just like, guys, come on. But anyway, 4 players alive for Envy. Bomb is planted. Flash comes in towards CT. Chris J has a flash and a smoke, and that's it. And they are not given many chances in this one. No doubt about it. They've been locked out at the side as well. Chris J now has to sort of content himself with checking behind them, because Envyus have the amount of players that could allow them to wrap if they wanted to. So Spiddy just going to charge forward. Actually works out. Gets on towards Happy, but again, he has to trade that one. And Envyus end the round with, and a half, with 5 rounds there. It was a rough start. I mean, there were, 7 rounds down. They win 1, they get reset after that. So credit to Envyus to bring it back. Of course, that round earlier on where Mousesports sort of did force into. This is just, what did Alex say? Dumb lit? That was ridiculous. Is just diabolical. Almost James Harding. God damn it! No, yeah, it's brilliant to watch, but it's something very unique to what he can achieve just by himself. So for Mousesports, if you want a quick game, you want to get that pistol, get it done and dusted. Envyus have got a little bit of fire burning
You know, they started to look a little bit more like a contender here.
I mean, essentially what Envyus have done those last few rounds of the first half was give themselves a lifeline, even if they do, by some diabolical, as you put it, turn of events, lose the pistol, they don't sort of auto-lose the game. So that's something for you guys. I mean, obviously, many of you at home sort of understand that as well. We are just trying to nail the point home here, just how important that round is going to be. So more 3Ks from Nico is exactly what Envyus are not wanting to occur.
Yeah, you are spot on.
Some deep analysis there, Lauren.
Yeah,
like
that was. Need to sit back for a sec.
Yeah. Just think about it. Just ponder that one.
Yeah, no, it's very deep. You know, kind of like Jaden Smith style sort of things.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't remember what it was.
Both Jaden Smith, Willow Smith, very talented individuals. Let's be honest.
True.
Here.
I feel like Alex could be the next Jaden Smith.
The kind of guy that says people die when they are killed. That's that real deep stuff.
Oof.
Yeah.
Deep. But yeah, I'm kind of curious why we're back at this point and why there's a player not here. Any updates?
Not as of yet.
Oh, okay, so a player decided, who is it? Who's done it? Chris J.
Chris J.
Of course it is.
Our flying Dutchman friend. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you know, we can talk a little bit about, I guess, about the first half, the CT-sided performance from Mousesports. But Lauren, really, like, there's not a heck of a lot to go through. The pistol was won by Mousesports convincingly. Like we said, it was Nico sat in mid-window with a few kills to his name, and then it went to a 7-0, if I'm not mistaken, lead, or at least a 6-0 lead for Mousesports. Envyus managed to break back in, and to be fair, they weren't. I said reset. They weren't sort of fully reset. They actually had a bit of money build up in that round prior.
Just not much.
Yeah, and enough to carry them through the next couple of rounds. So while they were reset on round loss bonus, they actually had money in the bank to still buy up a decent sort of force into the next round and sort of start to get a couple of rounds back. But yes, those last couple of rounds for Envyus were important. They were very far behind. It was like 10-3 at one point. So they have recovered. That is the main thing. And Chris J, I hope he's having fun right now. I hope he's really enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's having a good time, and that's the important thing.
Here in Cologne, so we may have discovered ein schönes Mädchen, maybe. Yeah. Ein schönes Döner.
I really want a kebab now.
Ein leckeres? I don't know. Lecker is tasty.
Lecker is tasty.
Yeah.
But Chris J has rejoined us. He has graced us with his presence, so that's very, very kind of him. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this one. I know this sounds harsh, but I find it very underwhelming when there's obviously teams with the stand-in, and it's hard to get excited for. Obviously, those individual moments are still there, but it's like you always feel like it's a kind of empty game in a way. Obviously, still very important to Envy to win, but...
Well, that's the problem, though. They're 5-5 after this one, and we talked about like what the event horizon is for teams to not be able to make playoffs, right? And the thing is, we have some teams that are playing all their games sort of now and getting out of the way. You guys like NIP and FaZe, and then you know, guys like Na'Vi have only played 6 so far. But if you lose, I think it's we did the calculation, 7 or 8 matches, you auto can't qualify for the playoffs. Notwithstanding any sort of weird behavior that happens in terms of teams losing games from the top position on the ladder. So teams like Flipside, bad news for you guys at home, are already essentially out. They sort of can't qualify. And even FaZe are actually teetering fairly close to that number. Who would have thought, right? I think they're what, like 11-7 or something like that, you know. So not bad when you think about it. But again, if they have, you know, after last night, not really good. After Mouse sort of took them to task fairly comfortably. So that's the thing. That's why this ladder, the table itself, isn't really shaping up quite yet. It's very, very hard to say because that's just the way it works. Teams are playing when they can play because of, well, the very saturated nature of CS events right now. It's the way it is. We're going to be back into this one, Lauren. It's going to be the pistol round here. Envyus on the CT side.
All right, Envy, you've got to start with the pistol. Simple as that. This is the first step that you need to get yourself back anywhere near close to getting this game going favorably towards you. So Kenny is going to go for the utility as such, quote unquote, but basically just buying the kit. So he can be that player for them with the nade, totally fine. On the T side though, it's Christian and Nico to set up the play here pretty much. 2 smokes. So 1 smoke towards CT, I can imagine that is, and Nico could be doing one to...
It's a fake, yeah.
Is that the jungle smoke? Yeah. So we've got the 2 smokes on A, so it is all but a fake. But the problem being, there's actually 2 players here from Envy as well. You've got Happy and MBK, and MBK's a bit of a master at doing this. He's able to watch this. He's, you know, one of the first players to kind of master that jump peak almost, you know, at the higher scenes. So if they stay here, Oh, Happy's going hunting. I like this. So it'll get the info. He's going to get taken down, but they're going to see the bomb. So now MBK is going to stay where he is. He's got a player on short with him as well. So actually, this is not too bad for Envy. They just need to land the shots.
Yeah, that's right. NKJ, well, and Kenny S gets the nade on towards Dennis, so that's a little bit of presence shut down for Mousesports on both sides of the map. Chris J's got himself to A. He's very much nestled in there, but now it looks like, yep, Nico's going to be cut off at the pass. He actually gets taken on by Apex, and he manages to win out on that one, now forced to back away. NKJ doesn't want to take the challenge here, and this is going to allow Spitty and Nico just to sort of meet up in mid and start to exert some control. Chris J as well, something you need to consider in this round. He was allowed onto A on purpose because Envyus did read into the fake situation. He snuck himself right up near jungle and connector, so he'll be able to hear, he'll be able to get information, he'll know there's two players coming, so he could challenge this one down, but cleverly enough, NKJ comes around, tries to check, but Kenny S will fall. It's a trade. It's a 2v2 now, and NKJ needs to make himself scarce until NBK is ready to come out from that T-ramp. Or Palace.
Yeah, NK just needs to hold an angle. This I'm not too keen on. He can't escape cleanly from it, and I'm pretty sure Nico's going to face. And there you go. So now you've given it up. It's down to MBK, and that bomb can't go anywhere else. So MBK, why are you making sound here? I'm pretty sure they've just heard him as well. My word. Timing could have been certainly on his side there. Not to be the case at all, though. Nico finds it very comfortably, and in the end, Mouse do get that first round on the board in the second half, which doesn't bode well for Envyus. And we know what could happen when Nico gets going on this one.
No, I mean, again, there's a case to be made for MBK just staying quiet and trying to play after plant. He obviously still had plenty of time. He's close to the site. He obviously has the entire detonation period of the bomb. But 5 HP kind of sucks there. Don't really give Mousesports a chance to set up. So, you know, again, we get to see a lot more than the players do there. Oh, dear. Okay. Kenny S just smashes Oscar backwards there into next Tuesday, in fact. Mousesports just, yeah, a little bit dazed from that one, maybe reeling slightly, but they are going to recover quickly enough to throw a smoke in towards mid. And that'll force Kenny S right around towards CT. So that means that mid control will go towards Mousesports. Now they have 2 AKs in this round, Galila and a UMP, but again, another little peek there. Nicely done. It was Kenny S again over towards short. Takes Chris J down to 68. Low risk, high reward play from Kenny S thus far with his kills. He's managing to pull out. He's staying safe. But this wrap from Connector could be nasty as well. They're going to shut Kenny S out. I don't know if he's going to push through this or not now, but Mousesports definitely are. They're on towards the side. Kenny S had no choice but to challenge through that smoke, and he is read into. They do shut him down. NBK going to be coming in from CT, and NKJ from T-ramp here. They can pinch it, but it needs to be quick, and it's just too slow. NKJ almost tries to shoot his teammate there, freaks out a bit. Happy, he won't be pleased with that one at all, but still, 11 health on NKJ to work onto this in a 2v4.
Yeah, this is really grim stuff. They're going to know there's at least one here. You probably won't expect 2. But still, not a fun retake at this point. No kit, no fun, no chance. Have a little lay down, NKJ. Just
Take 5, mate.
Your leg looks a bit funny there, not gonna lie. I don't think they normally bend that way. Maybe ankle a bit twisted round. Don't know. Hope you're okay. But yeah, Happy's going to save this. So, you know, he's got armor, upgraded pistol, and this is pretty much what you can achieve. If you can get maybe an extra kill in mid, that'd be great, but no one's going to play to it. He actually recovers the UMP, so not bad for what he started with, considering.
How proactive did we see Happy be on his entry attempts in that first half? Remember Sponge talked about at the start of the game? I mean, a bit late now, but I mean, he definitely lagged right behind NKJ in that little engagement there, which is kind of reasonable given NKJ was a low health player, and you do want to set up a trade in that case, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
Happy buys a UMP, though.
He picked it up from the last round. Yeah.
That's right.
Come on, Mitch.
Yeah, no, a little bit slow. Getting late.
It's getting late. We've had pauses, stand-ins, and we're currently watching some weird CS, but it's working. You know, we've got the mid split coming in. It's probably going to be an A hit. Whoever's over at B going to kind of come in through underpass, that being Nico, probably going to come in through underpass and help them out unless they get to pick elsewhere and work off the back of that instead. Just end up on A. You've got 3 players at ramp, but that bomb actually not going to be committing here at all. That's going to make a bit of a play towards mid. So again, bit of a ruse, bit of a fake play, and Dennis not with the perfect spray there at all.
Oh, NKJ takes him down there pretty comfortably with a pistol. However, Kenny S is still traded out as a result of that Molotov, which is definitely good news for Mousesports, and now Envyus have realised that something is afoot over at the B side. Happy needs to hold with his UMP scavenge, and there'll be no dice on that one for him. NKJ limited on approach options here, it's safe to say that, and even Oscar wrapping back around to catch out NBK, and this leaves Apex with an AK he's picked up, no armor, and in a rather compromising position as well. This is not really a part of the map you want to be trying to save a weapon from, but Mousesports won't probably step into mid-window until Spitty's content that there's no one waiting there for a quick kill, so this is okay. Chris J will probably look to try and challenge out here though. Still, does have a Galil, not quite what he would have liked. Drops down, Apex. Well, we can guarantee, at least, we can trust that man to pick up fights like that one, but then he will be caught out and taken down. So Yeah, another attempt now for Envyus to salvage another gun. Goes by the wayside, but they do buy straight up here with the AWP.
But hey, here's that discussion of are pistol rounds quote-unquote random, right? This is now where Envy have to change it. They have to kind of say, all right, well, those 3 rounds, they won the pistol. We can't do much about it. Cool. All right, starting to buy round. This is where we need to stop it. There's no room for mistakes, which is the problem. And the CT side economy is so punishing. If you mess up once, you're kind of done for here. We'll find out if that's going to be the case here. Is already Kenny. Got to be careful in mid. There's a, excuse me, a little bit of a worrying sign up ahead, being 2 players making the cross, and they hit him with the smoke, so they know what's going on. He needs to back away from that. And really, Mousesports just posturing towards a really nice mid-take. And, well, Chris J already gets that one going very well.
Yeah, I mean, more aggressive way to take mid-control, but Chris J now able to just abscond through underpass and, you know, continue to erect some infrastructure over at the B side, allow Mousesports some safer passage. The bomb, though, dropped back in towards top mid, and with MBK challenging out Chris J, that makes things a little bit less certain for Dennis, and there it is. Envyus done now to exert their pressure a bit more. 2 players in mid for Mousesports, and you can see where Spitty is set up here. Probably would have been hoping to find Kenny S, hoping he came back through the little opening, but he hasn't done that. He's made a very characteristic rotation through towards CT.
Characteristic.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, you're going to do that in this case, but we saw Kenny S even do it on pistol rounds, opting not to challenge out mid for the second time, so... Either way, he sets up there. It's not really going to matter at this stage, I think. Spitty, it's just the bomb's dropped in towards connector, so he's got no options, really. And he can try and spray down happy.
Costly.
He can try and tilt happy. That's always a good plan, I think.
Well, the main thing in my eyes is the fact that really Envy can't fall back on money at any single point. They've got so many rounds against them, so for them, any sort of gun loss is quite important. So keep the economy low. A bit of a... it would be an overcommitment to start chasing beyond that, I'd feel, but at the end of the day, looking at Mouse, their money's a bit, here, there, and everywhere. It's not stable. They can spread the wealth, but I can imagine there might be a Tech 9 or 2. Could they have enough?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a good point. I mean...
Dennis has a Glock.
Negatory.
There we go. Okay. So I was about to say, please don't just sit on a Glock. You can buy a Tech 9. So there was always going to be 1 Tech 9 out of that. And I like what they're doing coming into this, just going for that A-hit.
Probably what I think about here as well is that Envyus don't have any rounds they can save on. So, like, if they're sort of in a 2v4, 2v3 after plant situation, they no longer have the chance to sort of save weapons. So that's a really good point you brought up, that Mousesports are trying to inflict damage on the economy here because they know that Envyus don't really have, the options available to them. Oh, that's Oscar on towards Apex there, opening things up at the A side. Now, this has to force players drawn across here from Envyus because he was the only player there. They had a few players set up for a mid-take, but Mousesports changed tact, a little bit of a different approach this round and worked through A. But just a tickle. Enough, though, that Nico's been spotted out in towards Palace and has picked up. Spitty
can change his... For Mousesports, just hold the ground. You don't lose out on players like this. What on earth, guys? Mousesports fall by the wayside. Spitty could have done so much there. Maybe a little late coming into this, but he'd had the... Nice shot. Okay. All right.
You have my attention.
I was a little worried. And now Happy in the 1v1. We know who plays it better, and we found out why. Happy, cool, calm, under pressure, doesn't feel it. He's used to being last alive. He's never going to be worried in those situations. The point being that Mousesports...
I won the round. I shoot you if you complain.
Yeah, the AWP is mine.
Rating matters.
You will have to glass cannon rather than me dropping this out to you. That was literally that look of, I am the alpha here. Just claims it, forces Kenny S onto the glass cannon.
I love it.
Oh, God.
I mean, well, that's pure conjecture. Let's just make that clear, right? But, I mean, a funny little exchange nonetheless here. Kenny S, though, says, well, stuff you. I'm going to go glass cannon. I'm going to get a kill. What now? Even MBK will be able to move up here on towards shore and assist. Ugh. That is what happens when you don't have armor and helmet, but that's the way it goes. It's also a deagle, so not really much saving you there. Nade in towards the top of mid there. NBK able to use it to flush Spitty out and follow up there with that kill. And Oscar now, just a bit of a do-si-do, bit of back and forth. Again, a foregone conclusion, essentially. And NKJ salvages that AWP.
So, Envy lived to fight another day. And this is step by step. This is one of those things that's step by step. And any break in the chain means it's almost over. Musks get to 14, let's say Envy's money gets reset, 'cause they haven't built up too much yet. Only Happy really having a lot to work with here. Sitting on 7k, of course. It's not like he could have dropped that up and bought for himself to Kenny S, he wouldn't do that. Point being, yeah, Envy is starting to build up bank, but they don't have enough to be able to depend on yet. So again, Mousesports, if they break it once, they're in a good position, of course. However, yet to do that just as of late. We've got 3 players from, well, Envy kind of playing mid. You've got one in ladder room, being NBK there. kind of leaving short a little open, but he can kind of call over towards, you know, his teammate Happy if required. But it's Chris J flashed up, can't get it done, but Dennis there perfectly positioned, waiting, and there's the pinch. There's that uncomfortable play. You look at one, you get traded on, you get pressured from the other side. That is the beauty of getting Palace control. Kenny is now blinded, gets swept aside by Dennis, and Mousesports do a lovely 8-hit.
And NBK now just wants to challenge Connector. He's just not going to have any chance. Spitty will be waiting for him there with the Galil. Happy with the AWP. It's my AWP. Back off. He says, oh, we're going to have to do something about it. Like I said, Envyus, how many opportunities do they have to save in rounds like these? Not really many. And he's into the smoke here. Chris J's actually gone back behind him, so this could be a good chance. Still, though, interestingly enough, Oscar's still tapping there through the smoke, so still had a feeling that Happy would be close by. And there it is. You know, Envyus, I can't really afford to try and save on rounds like that one. They lack the buffer now, and Mousesports get one more closer to victory. Keep buying into this one. Obviously, Envyus have built up enough money, I guess, to keep going on with. But like you said, attack the economy of Envyus and put him in a position like this. This reminds me of mid-2015 Envyus, and it's not really by their own decision. They've got no choice.
I hate seeing Happy stick on an AWP and not drop it out to Kenny at this point. I know it sounds weird, and maybe I'm misreading it, and maybe they're comfortable this way. Yeah. You just got to feel if it's a primary AWP, you got to give them a chance with it.
You can't say it's played off spawns here, not in this case where Happy's on short.
I don't know. You know, Happy's a very diligent AWPer. He's a great secondary AWPer. But would you ever pick him above Kenny S? But, you know, point aside, getting into this round, Mousesports are on a good buy, and, well, as you said, Envy are not. Their money was never completely robust, so they've got to be quite careful on these. And Envy need to keep a clean round.
So the M4s of NBK and Apex are split between the two sites here. Pistols of Kenny S and NKJ are mostly concentrated towards the middle of the map. You know, just give them those close quarters situations where you can shine sometimes with the 5-7 when it counts. Double peek eventually comes in there, almost a little bit too late there. Kenny S manages to get the drop on Spitty though, eventually secures the trade for Envyus. Nico though brings one back. Now going to make that into a 3v3. Oscar and Dennis have the bomb towards B, and NBK obviously ready to receive this one, but so many things could go wrong for the natural born killer. Just need to steel himself here and receive this one appropriately. He's the only man at B right now. That's a pretty good response, I feel. Bomb goes loose, information gained, a kill as well for NBK. He backs away, but Oscar takes him down. Now things get a little bit more stressful. Happy's had to make his way over towards the site, but wait. No MB players over at A here. Oscar drops the bomb. It goes off over the ledge through the window onto the B side here. He could have backed out and maybe, but Happy had already encroached so closely that any attempt to turn your back and run away would have been foiled. There wasn't even the time left. So now it's up to Nico to do the heavy lifting, but Happy will be waiting for him.
Happy's got such a great position here. It has to be a full commitment for Nico. He has to hunt the frag out, but...
The bomb's inside a pump
exactly.
still.
He has to jump up to it.
Wrong.
This is it. This is as simple as it is. He's got to run for this one. Time has run out. 1 second left. He can't even spot out Happy at the end of it. He does at least get an ult for himself, but Happy playing smart there as well.
Yeah, but weird economic situation here. Envyus, even despite winning that round, don't actually have much money.
Take the M4, Kenny.
To be fair, you know, a lot of people are a bit funny about
Kenny's
Happy.
Got 22 frags. I have 12.
Yeah, I know. So a lot of people are funny about Happy. I had one of my most favourite interviews of all time with him in Katowice. You know, people say he's a really reserved guy and sometimes maybe doesn't always want to give too much information up. But I had a really good chat with him before the interview, and he opened up really quite a lot. And you know, just to see, you know, he's maybe reserved. I think he's a bit misunderstood a lot of the time as well. Oscar though,
Oscar.
Understand that one. It's going to be Apex that goes down as he goes through the smoke. And now NBK set up over on short, having to back away. But God, what a way to take the wind out of the sails. Oscar now is just going to make his presence more strongly felt. And Dennis, oh God, it's all going south now for Envyus.
Welcome to the Oscar show, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats and prepare for what we have in store. It's all down to Happy in a 1v3. And this will be map point coming through almost. We're on to 15-9 now. Oscar to close it down with his third. And what a sick bit of play from him. You know what? The first shot is just filth. This, like, you shouldn't win this. You should not be able to do this. Apex, what happened, for starters? What happened? And then he was able to follow it up as well. You know, so I was like, guys, just push him, right? We're losing mid, regain control elsewhere. No. You can't just do that. But anyway, back in this one, it's 15-9. Mousesports on the verge of picking up this map here. Not too surprising, but in some style so far.
Oh, and Envyus with just not enough money as well. That sucks. And they got to force into this one. They force every round up sort of past this one. Not good. And so hard to re-establish any sort of chance of bringing things back here. A measly 9 rounds for the Frenchman is definitely not enough at this stage. Well, I mean, NKJ coming in, not quite. But there's Spitty. Finds Apex to start things off. He obviously wants to go for something aggressive in towards Palace. He obviously wants to try and catch people off guard. But Spitty's sitting so far back. Mouse know exactly what they're walking into here. and they are just paving their way with very deliberate steps towards this A side. They're going to have Dennis pinching in a second here from Connector, and that means that Kenny S is going to be endangered species. NKJ at least can communicate that, but not much else can be done, really.
All right, Kenny S, yeah, overwhelmed in the end. 4v1, happy last alive. We're all surprised, shocked, and in horror. And there it goes. Chris Jacobs managed to close this out for Mousesports, and to be fair, I don't think we're too surprised at how that went. Sadly, overall, we'd have loved to seen the full Envy roster playing that one. It wasn't to be the case. And I think